everybody, hope you're well. So this video is requested by Pi360, and in this video I'm going to be customizing a horse with a GA, a Helios Ray background and an Apollo's Lyre, but with a certain theme in mind. So this is kind of general, but it will allow a couple of you to think of how you might decide to set up your horse in a customized, layout and so forth that goes along with a certain theme. So maybe you have some horses that you think, right, well, I want golden apple coats that really look like their breed, so it's going to take a little bit longer maybe to go in there and find horses that look actually like the breed itself, but that may be more rewarding, especially if maybe you breed a lot of Welsh ponies, for example, and you maybe want to go in and find coats that look like actual Welsh horses, or perhaps you want to find horses that look like they would go with particular song names, for example, or maybe with book names. The possibilities are pretty boundless. Or maybe you just want to go with colours. Maybe you want to go with a horse that will have a lot of red, like a red coat, red background, maybe either red, actual red in the name, or just that the name itself is actually in red. So we're going to get started, and basically this is pretty general. So the first thing I would say, and I personally prefer to do this, is I always start off with a golden apple coat. Usually in the cases where I don't have a name in mind. Now, if you had a name in mind, that can make it easier already. So say you've already named your horse and you had something pretty set in your head that, okay, I know this is a name. Say it was something like Winterfell, okay. So that to me would bring to mind Game of Thrones. So I would be like, right, okay, let's choose something that kind of looks a bit Game of Thronesy. So what I would then do is go in and choose my coat. So I'm going to click on to my diamonds here. So I like to name a lot of my Argentinian furloughs, for example, out of Game of Thrones, and I'll show you what I mean by this just really quickly. So I'll show you some of my other ones here. So let's see Argentinian furloughs. So you can see some of them there. So we've got this one that was called Starks of Winterfell. So you can kind of see everything's quite icy, quite cold looking, That's what I went for whenever I was choosing that coat. I wanted something really cool and icy looking, very snowy. So that's just something you could bear in mind. And then, here's another one. Here's one based off a Night's Watch, Just go on with different things, This is, I went for a very dark coat because all of the Night's Watch would be wearing black. So these are the things to kind of bear in mind, like whenever you're going to choose coats and you want them to be really themed around something. Now, you don't have to theme coats, you can pick whatever you want. I'm just suggesting this to anybody that likes going with a theme. So then I get really random ones that aren't related to Game of Thrones at all. Because you tend to go through themes, because if you were to go through most of my horses, like my blups, you'll see certain themes, so you can tell, okay, you were listening to these songs and you're listening to these books, or you're reading these books and so forth. So it's quite nice, I think, just to have certain themes on the go. You don't have to, you can do whatever you like. So we'll go back to our horse here. So it can be a case that you just want to go and find a coat that you like. Now, I like to pick for limited, so we're going to go look for limited, look for ones that I haven't used before. So I tend to pick for limited first. I very, very, very rarely go for an unlimited coat now, unless it's a skiller sometimes and I just see something that I really like. So having a look here, there's a few there. If I was going, say, with a Winterfell theme, would kind of go because they would suit quite a snowy background. But once you've got one in mind, so let's say, for example, just for the sake of this, let's say you had a bay horse and you wanted to go for a bay unicorn, for example, if it was a unicorn horse. So you might filter by colour to find horses that are bay. And then say, okay, I'm happy with that, and then pick for that. So there are different ways that you can go through there and really filter. So if you don't care whether it's limited or not, you can undo that. But if it's something that's important that it's limited, you don't have it already and you want to look by certain colours, those are sort of the things I'd be thinking of doing. So I'll just click back to all there. So I think I'm going to go with... Now I don't know, wait, we haven't clicked limited. There we go. I was wondering why we're getting a load of new coats already up. That's quite pretty. Okay, I like that. You see, you could just even see something that you go, I like that. Now, whenever I'm in the particular mood of, okay, I just want to find a coat that I really, really think's really pretty, I usually do the coat first, then find the Helios Ray for it, and then name it. Generally, I think it's harder to do a background and then find a horse to go into it, unless you've seen a background and seen a coat somewhere and you know the two would go really well, which there has been occasions where I have, but I tend to always do the GA first. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's whatever your particular preference is, but there's just ways I think makes it slightly simpler for you. But I really, really like that. So that's grabbed me there, and I think the blue kind of goes with the blue and the tail and so forth with the flowers. So once I've got that, I've got my background. So I may look at this and think, what does that inspire me with, And then I would go up and I could rename it. Now, just for the sake of this, I'm just gonna. I don't know if I have a Helios Ray or not a Helios Ray. An Apollo's Lyre. I actually don't have an Apollo's Lyre. I'm really sorry. I didn't have Apollo's Lyre. But I would go in there. I'll go to one of my other horses that already has an Apollo's Lyre actually. Let's see. I know a bunch of these ones have. So just to show you. So for example, this one has been sort of color coded. So gone from like a dark orange into then a green and then back out to the dark orange again. So you can go in there and like I've done rainbow colored ones. I've done ones that are all solid color, maybe two separate colors. So you could do whatever you like there. You could, do red, then maybe green, and then maybe yellow, and then go back to red, and then green, yellow. So you've got a lot of scope with this. It's pretty. This is one of the things about horse that I really love. I love the creations. They're one of my favourite things, and I really, really adore putting time into how I decide to put them together and so forth, because there's something in horse that I really enjoy, and there's so much work that goes into them. So thank you to Pi360 for creating the video. I hope this was helpful in some way, guys. I sort of rambled a little bit, but anyway, guys, I hope you had a lovely day.